Go. So welcome everyone to the Taurus full supermoon celebration. Today's November 4th. This is happening tomorrow. Yes, me too, Christina. Absolutely. And I kind of like that. I'm a seasonal girl, and fall is one of my favorites. It's like I like to burrow in and not come out till the sun comes back up. Let's call in. All right. Let's take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, just drop your grounding cords. Send your roots down, down, down into the earth. Whew. Then inhale. Draw that earth energy up, up, up through your body. Send it up and out through the top of the head, connecting with the heart of the divine above us. Inhaling. Draw that cosmic energy down through your body. Send it all the way down into the earth, activating the as above, so below flow. Then connecting with that flow, breathing in, breathing out, activate the as within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be here on this beautiful planet in physical bodies doing this sacred work right now. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean, current emotions. We welcome love, joy, flow, and abundance. Moving to the west, we welcome air, mind, focus, clarity, all of our guides, angels, allies, and helpers. And moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we welcome our divine feminine and our divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies. We call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into the circle. We ask that all of these energies be with us, pray with us, and dance with us for our mutual benefit. Over here. Get our music. Here we go. was fun. That felt good. So, I don't ever want to say things are settling down because I don't know that that is going to happen. But we were talking earlier. Well, before we even go there, everybody take a moment, close your eyes, and see how your body feels. So take a breath, just drop in, drop your shoulders, drop down to your low belly, and just feel your body. How is he or she feeling? So things have been a little bumpy and chaotic, but what we were speaking into before we got started recording was about, we've just turned the time back in the Northern Hemisphere. And so everybody's times are flitchy. But for me, physically, my body resonates with the seasons of the earth. So when we fall back into the regular time frame, my body says, thank you. And what feels like's happening out there, and I'll share that with you, but it's like this nice little, 2 weeks ago, we did launch pad intentions, so big ones. And we had a lot of big energy to help us with that. And now this feels softer. It feels like, okay, now let's take stock. Let's release. We put all those intentions out there. Have we moved forward? What's in our way? And then boom, boom, boom. Right after we have this Taurus configuration, and well, it's a Taurus moon, but there's some really soft, supportive energies with the moon. And then right after, we have two major planets, Mercury and Jupiter, go retrograde. Boom, boom. So it's like the whole, cosmos, not just the planet herself, but the whole cosmos is supporting whatever intentions we set the last time, whatever other intentions we want to add to that. Now is the time to really sink into that and let yourself really take it in and take time to figure it out, sort through. So the process of alchemy is afoot. So let's just catch ourselves up. Things are starting, there's still some retrogrades. Saturn is there till the end of the month. Uranus is going to be retro until February of next year, but it's going to move into Taurus on November 7th, and it's going to hang out there for a while. We'll talk about what that means too. Pluto went direct and is going to stay direct. So things are starting to kind of find their spots and settle in. And I've already spoken into the intentions, but yeah, exactly, Carolyn. That's what it feels like. It feels like, oh, we know those humans are crazy. They're going to set all kinds of big intentions for themselves and not be able to follow through on them. So they give us time, right? And we are a little crazy like that, but but it's been working for us. So, and right now you got to tap dance really quickly to keep up with everything, all the changes happening. So once again, now it's time for us. What do we need to release in order for those? Because remember, this is a full moon. So we've hit an apex. Here's all those intentions. Here's all those good intentions that maybe we haven't stepped into. Maybe we've just been thinking about, or they've been niggling at us. What is holding us back? And that's what, Taurus says, get on the ground. She moves really slow. So I hope you have your intentions that you wrote down 2 weeks ago with you, because it would be really smart for you to refer back to those today. And, if you do this on the reg, get used to bringing that same journal with you, because it's a good practice to keep track of these such things and just notice how much help we get. So the full moon is going to happen tomorrow in the morning. So, we've already hit the window at 7:19 a.m. Central Time this morning is 24 hours before. So any ceremony, big ceremony that you want to do, the best moment for that is going to be tonight. If you want to do a fire or whatever to release things, you might want to write some of these things down and release them. Tonight would be the night. And then, because that's going to, once it hits 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, then the energy starts to dissipate. So you want to hit ceremony when you're moving with it. So things that you want to think about just from Taurus. I know that pleasure might seem like an oxymoron right now, but how is your physical body feeling? Are you giving yourself enough time to enjoy being here in your physical body? Are you are you moving forward where you need to? Are you holding back because it's what you've always done? You may feel a lot of things on you right now because everybody's getting an up level. Everybody's getting, aside from what astrology is doing, there's all kinds of new light, new information hitting the planet. When we hit 2025 in the age of Aquarius, it was just like somebody took their foot off the brake, and tons of light, tons more information, tons more ideas. I keep hearing this little voice in the back of my head as I flit from one thing to the next, going, this is what it's going to be like in the age of Aquarius. And I'm like, seriously? My little fly Gemini self can't sit still the way it is. So, at any rate, these are the kinds of issues you want to look at with regard to those intentions you set last time. And, I don't know about the rest of you all, but all I want to do right now is either be outside sitting and drooling, or sitting and looking out the window at nature and just being in her and with her. And quite frankly, whether whether the moon's in Taurus or not, we should be doing that right now. So once again, I want you to just refer back to those intentions. We will have time to journal here in a little bit, but just look at them and ask yourself, what do I need to release in order to get these to move? And if you're looking for where that is in your journal, I believe we met on the 21st of October. I even wrote Launchpad. So that's what, but seriously, that is what this energy is like. And I know we've had these for years, but the intensity and the realness of how fast things are changing is starting to be very apparent for all of us. So it behooves all of us to take time to slow down and really sit with our intentions, sit with our plans for the future, and what we're laying down for the next seven generations, because that's really what we need to be planning around. Okay, like I said, this is kind of gentle. There's only one real major aspect, and it's kind of telling that there's only one. I might start doing this at 9 regularly. There's a lot of you here. Is a T-square with the sun, the moon, and Pallas Athena. So it's very telling who that T-square is with. So let me show you. Of course, the sun, where shall I put you? There you are. The sun is going to be in Scorpio. So for those of you that are familiar with astrology, think about what the sign of Scorpio is all about, deep diving. So the sun's going to be there for 28 days. Probably not that many now because it shifted, but that's how long we're going to have that Scorpion energy around us, which is truth telling. It's like you go deep to get the real truth and you come back up and bring it back for the tribe. That's what Scorpio does. So you have the sun shining that kind of a light out over the planet. And the moon right now, she changes. She goes through all of the signs of the zodiac in 28 days. So right now she's in Taurus and she's like, get practical, folks. Ground. It's like, if you want another question, what do you need to do to ground your intentions into the physical? How do you get them to manifest in physical form? That's what these two beings, these two energies are asking us to look at. And then they're both squaring off here with Pallas Athena, who, yes, she was a divine feminine warrior, but her biggest, her best skill was the skill of negotiation. So she's down here in Aquarius, which is tons of ideas. It's like, I love this. Pallas wonders if rather than launching a screaming frontal assault, you could use cleverness and cunning to accomplish your goals. And for many of us in female bodies right now, we may feel like screaming at people. And there's been a lot going on, things that maybe we don't necessarily agree with. She also supports your use of negotiation, mediation, and win-win modalities. So how can you set things up in your world in a better way? And then in Aquarius, be innovative, think outside the box, come up with new ideas. So as we dive in, think about this. As we dive into this juicy time, which we're going to talk about in a moment, look at all of the support we have to really flesh out things and come up with good ideas. Now, let me show you what else is happening. So jump on this now. Even if you just write down a few releases and release them in a fire tonight or over a candle or however you want, because you're going to have more time to flesh things out. I'm going to show you why. So there's a little bit more support. There's a semi-square with Neptune. So, Neptune is all about spirituality. Really to have those three, and I don't see Neptune on here, but to have those three, maybe he's over here. Yeah, there he is. He's retrograde in Pisces right here. And So that's to have Taurus and Scorpio and Aquarius and Pisces all together. That could sound like a tsunami, but that sounds really juicy to me. That sounds like, oh my goodness, we've got divine support for whatever um, manifestation work, whatever endeavor that we want. And Jupiter is right in there supporting us with expansion, because here in a little bit, he's going to go retrograde too. So that's why I say hit that intention machine while it's hot right now. Then Uranus is going to move back into Taurus on the 7th. So 2 days later, he's been in Gemini, which is kind of popcorny. But when he goes into Taurus again, things get physical. So his surprises aren't just aha moments. And so you want to tell him, you want to work with Uranus and say, either give me a warning or give me some good surprises, because this can be an edgy time. Things fly in, not things out of the ordinary happening. And he's not going to settle back into Gemini until the end of April. So he's going to be there for a while. So it is it can also be a very abundant and, feeling like I just won the lottery kind of time too, because he does those things in the physical. So set yourself up to be in alignment with that. Uranus loves revolution. So paradigm shifts in your ways of thinking. If that's one of your intentions, he'll help you with that. Then think of all the physical structures that you may have to restructure in order to get your desires into fruition. Look at your relationship with money, your relationship with your possessions. How can you revolutionize it? What would your life look like if you prioritized your authentic individual expression, followed your intuitive flashes, and served others using the special gifts that you most love to use? That would be the utopian society that we've been saying that we wanted to live in. But we have to prepare for that. Most of us need income to survive. Can you revolutionize your livelihood to align more harmoniously with your life purpose? Even if you earned less money, would you be happier doing what your soul was sent here to do? So all kinds of things to think about, and we're going to have some time to do it. We set our intentions now, and then let's see, that happens on the 7th. Uranus retrogrades into Taurus, so he's slowing down a little bit. Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th, 2 days later. So, and it will turn direct again on the 29th of November. So, and he's in Sag the first part and in Scorpio the last part. So once again, all the rules that apply for Mercury retrograde: be careful of travel, be careful of contracts, blah, 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 blah. But the juicy part of Mercury retrograde is the going within, the having conversations with your divine self. So It's in Sag the first 9 days and Scorpio the rest. So wisdom gathering is what Sag is about. And your emotions, your deep, dark emotions, what you really love, what you really hate, you have time to get clear on all of that. I want to do this, but this emotion is stopping me. Now's your chance to release it. Mostly that emotion is fear from all of us. So release it. Then there's more. 2 more days later, Jupiter turns retrograde. I mean, it doesn't get any more precise or obvious than this, right? So he's going to hang out. He's in Cancer right now, and he's going to hang out in retrograde until March 10th. So he's the planet of wisdom, growth, abundance, and expansion. And he's like, let's take a break. We've been going full throttle. Reconsider your emotional and spiritual foundations. And then think about family. The sign of Cancer is deeply attuned to family, emotional security, self-care. Jupiter in Cancer way encourages self-care. And then I love this line, nurture what already exists rather than chasing new horizons. Cultivate depth, clarity, and alignment with your core values. So we have this little this window of time. And look, it goes direct in March. And then Uranus goes direct in April. So there's another launch pad coming in May. But we have this beautiful window to, okay, this is what I initiated. How do I want to move forward? Do your ambitions reflect your inner truth, or have they been shaped by others' expectations? These are good questions to just sit with. This is a great time to make adjustment in areas like, Taurus, financial planning, education, spiritual direction, what kind of growth authentically nourishes you. So write all that down. The recording will be on YouTube, and I'll send out an email. So here's some, just to get you started, to prime the pump. What do you need to release once and for all? That's always a good one. Or what do you need to release in order to meet those intentions you set? Where do you need to improve your relationship with money? Or your relationships with others? Do you have money goals? How are they doing? What are they? And then think about this, because really and truly, the first part of November, we enter into what they call late autumn, which is going to move us into early winter very soon at the solstice. So we have this little window of time. And if we're aligned with the earth energies, this is when we plan our gardens. This is when we plan what we want to be growing in May, what we want to be seeding in May. So how do I need to prepare the seed beds of myself and my life for 2026? I mean, those are the things we need to be thinking about now. So I'm going to give you some time to journal with any and all of what we've talked about. True, Carolyn. I love that. Carolyn in the chat says we can also plant bulbs now. So take that analogy however you want to take it. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So I know all of you are journaling like mad. That's why we do this early, so you have time. So I'm going to just bring in the elements and see if they have any insight for you as you go along. And we've already heard this one, but it never hurts to have it confirmed by the cards. So in the Earth Door, I pulled groundedness. This is what we're going to need if we're going to be able to answer all of those questions. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get disconnected from Earth. Because of the magnetic nature of our environment and our bodies, this can be detrimental to all areas of our life, from health to wealth to relationships. The electrical charge we get from literal contact with the ground itself is scientifically proven to lower stress, decrease inflammation, and improve overall health, not to mention the boost that we receive mentally and emotionally. So, where do you need to be more grounded? And you may want to connect with Earth and ask that question. uh, Opportunity window dates and um, okay, let me share the water door, then I'll go back and answer those questions because I got to keep us on track here. So in the water door, because these are really potent cards too, I pulled magnetism. We are electromagnetic beings. We are literally drawing things to us all the time with our electromagnetism. Want to know something else that's magnetic? Water. Water can actually increase our electromagnetic current. Not only that, its cleansing properties clear the energetic blocks as the magnetic properties of water increase our magnetism. Talk about a win-win. Where do you need more magnetism? Ask water to help you clear what's blocking you so you can magnetize your dreams. Okay, now let's go back up real quickly because I can't pull those off of my head. So the windows, here we go. Tonight and tomorrow morning, new moon or full moon, release, write your intentions, do the ceremony. 2 days later, Uranus moves into Taurus on the 7th. 2 days later, Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th. 2 days later, and he stays retrograde until the 29th. So there's a little window, a little pause window. And let me go back here. Uranus is going to stay. So really now till April is the big window. Uranus is going to stay in Taurus till April 26th. So now till April, but then in the middle, we have the 9th to the 29th, Mercury's retro, and then Jupiter's retro, the 11th until March 10th. So there's little windows inside of that big Uranus window, but it's all about integrating, cleaning out things, getting, clearing space, getting yourself aligned. Okay, here's the questions. I'll leave those up for a moment. And then I'm going to get the rest of our cards read. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll keep flipping back here. Air. In the air door, the masculine axis, higher thought. The air realm actually influences and informs all the other elements. Internally, we do that with our thoughts. Our thoughts actually dictate all of our outcomes. The more we dwell in the realm of high vibrational thought, the better our outcomes and the more quickly we're able to manifest. Dwelling here can be as simple as intending to do so, then monitoring your thoughts. When you find yourself dipping into the realm of negative thoughts about yourself and others, you can quickly turn yourself around by deliberately moving your thoughts to things that bring you joy, spark gratitude in your life. And if that doesn't work, chant. Chanting is high vibrational energy. If you can't come up with a joyful thought when you think about someone, chant. These are two of the highest vibrational emotions, gratitude and joy, that you can bring into your life, and they can shift things very quickly. Another way to ensure that you keep your thoughts high are affirmations. Having a high vibrational affirmation posted around you and reading it on a regular basis can help. So where do you need to reach for higher thought? There's no water question, my dear. It's just what I pulled in the card, okay? So water was magnetism. Where do you need more magnetism in your life? Ask water to help. And then air, higher thought. And then fire, determining. This speaks to clarity and forward movement. It has the feeling of decisive action because we live on a planet where all of our outcomes are determined by our actions. This is important power. the power to determine the next right step to take, and then take it. So we can write down all these intentions, but we have to take a step. So you don't have to do the whole thing. Just take a baby step toward it. When we use our skill of determining, we begin to actively choose our outcomes. Where do you need to use the skill of determining? That is very true, Carolyn. Very true. Okay, I'm going to flip back to the questions for a minute. We have 2 more cards, and I want to get them in for you. I'm going to read these out loud, and then we'll go back to the cards. What do I need to release once and for all? Where do I need to improve my relationship with money? How about my relationships with others? What are my money goals? And how do I need to prepare the seed beds of myself and my life for 2026? Okay. In the spirit door, I pulled crystalline consciousness. Beyond our electromagnetic field and the electromagnetic field of the planet lives another realm of consciousness, crystalline consciousness. This level of consciousness is like a high-powered supercomputer that stores, utilizes, and processes information at a much faster pace than we're used to when we work in the electromagnetic field. Around 2004, this realm became accessible to us. In 2012, the planet totally shifted to this new operating system. When you feel sluggish, heavy, or just moving really slow, shifting to crystalline consciousness can give you an added boost. Do you need to shift your perspective to crystalline consciousness? And an easy way to do that is just connect to your heart, connect to your soul. Your soul is the drop of light that informs your soul field or your crystalline consciousness field around your body. And then finally, your relationship with money. So we have time for that deep dive now. We have a few months. Quite frankly, I think this is the most important relationship, the most pivotal one you have, because it touches all the others. It influences all of them. And it's the one thing you need to improve if you want your bottom line to grow. When your bottom line grows, everything else does. And that is not telling people to chase money. I'm not. I just know from experience that you cannot hide from this one. You can gloss over it and say you don't need it and it's not important, and that it's the root of all evil and all the rest. But if you look deeply inside of you, you will get to the root of all of it, all the shame, the self-doubt, the blame, the not good enough feelings, and they're all connected here with your relationship with money. When you're willing to look and come clean, to be honest, to tell the deep truth, you'll break your money barriers and you'll fall in love with the divine and you'll fall in love with yourself. And all will be right with the world because you know the truth, that you are deeply loved and cherished by the divine, and that you do deserve all the health, wealth, and abundance the world has to offer just because you are you. So, is there any place where you need to improve your relationship with money? and take a moment. I didn't put an altar slide in here. If you haven't already and you want to jot down some intentions, you may already have. You may still be in the throes of all of that. But take a moment, if you want to see where all of your journaling is heading. What do you already know you need to release in order to move forward on those intentions? What do you already know? Write that down. Then when we get up and dance here in a moment, you'll have begun. You'll have begun your ceremony and your intentions. All right, I am going to get us some music and we're going to get up and move and activate what we've done so far and open the door to activate more. And you can close it tonight with a little candle ceremony if you want. Remember, this one's all about release. What are we releasing that is in our way? Here we go. Get up and move. Say what's in your body. love that, Luna Marie. That is water magic for sure. All right. We did it again, kids. We tagged base. I give thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us, for holding space for this planet right now. I give thanks for these beautiful souls that are anchoring in the light through their bodies with their sacred work. And I close this circle in the light. All right, lovelies. I will see you again in 2 weeks, if not before. You're so welcome. All right.